Good morning, ma'am, and hello everyone. I'm Divya P from second year of CSC department. In this video presentation, I'll be talking about like classical cryptography techniques. So, in the early methods, it is used for securing communication before the digital era. So, we all know that these techniques laid the foundation for modern cryptography, and we also like studied for the historical and educational value. So before going to that, first of all, what is classical cryptography? You are like asking, right? So the classical cryptography is like a art of writing or solving the codes. So it's the primary goal, the main primary goal is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity. So it is done using some paper, pens, and simple algorithm without means of using the like before modern computers came to know they are like using with the papers and pens. So before going to that, say a small recap of their history. So it is like going through the ancient Egypt, Cystel cipher, Caesar cipher, other contribution. So in this slide, you could read what is the brief history about the classical cryptography. So I skip about that and I go intro to the major classical techniques. So the first one is Caesar cipher. So it is one of the oldest and simplest cipher named after the author name is Julius Caesar. Okay. So how it works is that each letter in the plain text is shifted a fixed like number of places down the alphabet. For example, with a shift of 3. So A tends to D and the alphabet B tends to E and the alphabet C tends to F. So for example, in this like hello, the plain text, the cipher text is KHOR. So like this method, the Caesar cipher is like done, and the limitation is that very easy to break using brute force for frequency analysis. And the second is that monoalphabetic cipher. So this is an improvement over the Caesar cipher. That betterment of this. So and how it works is that each letter is replaced with another fixed letter. Like but mapping can be random. For example, A tends to Q. Like in random manner, they will be like mapping. Okay, so it is harder to guess, but it's still breakable using the frequency analysis. So the advantage is that this it is more complex than the Caesar, and the limitation is so if there is some advantage means they'll be having some disadvantage now. So the limitation is that it is still vulnerable to frequency analysis since each letter maps to one symbol only. So and the third one is Playfair cipher. So it is invented in 19th century by Charles Wheatstone and promoted by the Lord Playfair. So and how it works is that it uses the diaphragms, letter pairs and a 5 cross 5 matrix to encrypt the text. For example, so in this I didn't mention the example, but in orally I will tell. So the word hello would be broken into he and lo. So rules is that it should have if it have the same row means so replace the each letter with one to its right and same column means replace each with it one below. So else form a rectangle and swap the corner. So strong and get the mono alphabetic because it's encrypt two letters at a time. The mono alphabetic encrypts a single letter at the same time, right? But it will encrypt two letters at a time. So and the last one is so before that we can go to Wigner cipher. It is polyalphabetic cipher that uses a keyword to encrypt messages, and how it works is that letters are shifted by position determined by the keyword. So the plain text is given as attack and the keyword is lemon and the encrypted text is LXFOPV. So the advantage is that it repeats patterns less, making frequency analysis harder. And the weakness is that if the key is short or repeated, like it can still be broken, like using the methods like key examination. So other technologies which include transportation cipher and system cipher. So rearrange letter instead of substituting method is the simply known as transposition cipher. So the weakness of the classical cipher is mostly classical ciphers are vulnerable to frequency analysis. Like they can broken by using this analysis method. Okay. And to sum up the classical cryptography, techniques like Caesar monoalphabetic represent the early attempts by securing the communication. So the conclusion is that of my video presentation to wrap up the classical cryptography, like it shows how human creativity was like used to protect the secrets along before computers, and it also involved the techniques like Caesar, Playfair, and Wigner set the stage for modern inscription, and the legacy continue in the digital world. So thanks for watching this video. Thank you, ma'am.